Hey folks, Dude here. I'm going to give you a quick run through on some sword stuff and give you a few heads up pieces and let you know how to get a real one and not get burned. Basically, we got our stuff here and let me give you a quick run through. First and foremost, this is ray skin. This is roughly the same thing as what you have in the handles here. And this was basically like old deal, how samurais basically could keep a grip and not have their hands slip. It's beautiful braid here. And this is actually a ray skin, which is basically roughly about the same thing as shark skin. It's really rough, kind of has this little tacky thing going on, so you really can't lose your grip. The steel itself is basically differentially hardened, so this side is harder than this side. They paint clay on there, and what happens is when they forge the blade, they dip it in water. This cools at a different rate than this. That's what makes the blade bow. Of course, that makes that harder on that side than on that side. Good stuff. All the various grades are in. You can see all the various hamons and what have you, and some are better than others, but here's them side by side, so I'll give you a demonstration here. Okay, basically, this is the one that's not so great. This is the one that is better. This is a ground edge hamon. There's nothing really crazy about that. You can see pretty much it's shiny. There's nothing really crazy about it. This one actually is a clay hamon. Let me give you a demonstration here. Basically, you see that it has like a prismatic thing, and it's very hard to see with a camera. It doesn't really do so well. This really doesn't change. It's ground on there. There's, of course, grind marks. You can see it very clearly. It doesn't do anything. This is actually part of the steel. So when you actually move the blade, it has a prismatic action that takes place. What you're actually seeing is the carbon showing through on the steel surface, and that's what makes it a better blade. This, of course, being 1095 high carbon with a hamon. This, of course, being 1060. That means that there's 60 hundredths of a percent of carbon in here. There's 95 hundredths of a percent of carbon in here. This becomes the core of this sword when you make it into something like this. And you can see the pattern really pop out of this one. Let me get my light on here so you guys can see what you're doing here. And you can see it has like this wonderful kind of almost Damascus thing going on. What you're actually seeing is the blade itself showing its characteristics. Also notice the fact that the ground hamon is a pattern. There's nothing crazy about that. It looks like an ocean wave. It's really predictable. These guys here, this is exactly as random as it can be. See that prismatic thing going on there? It's very random because they painted the clay on there, and you actually had the heating making the pattern show through when you polish it back out. Good stuff. Get a real sword. Don't buy the junk. And if you look at it, you should be able to tell it. It's just like looking at a piece of glass versus a diamond. They're not even close. You can see the two in difference from each other. Good times.